to spice shit up around here. You know, we've been on some real deep, serious topics, and we need a little fun, a little spice. So today we're going to be talking about threesomes, all right? I did a poll on my Instagram with my Instagram followers where I asked them a variety of questions on threesomes. Now, when I was asking my homegirls, like, you know, I need some more suggestions for what I should ask, you know, I had to tell them, I can't just be asking folks, have you ever had a threesome? Did you like your threesome? Because things like that, people don't really like to share. They think that you're going to judge them. Some of them don't trust me like that. Shout out to y'all who do, though. But, so I didn't want to make it the stereotypical, like, questions that you would want to ask somebody about their threesome. I had to make them more, I had to make them less personal and just more, if you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypothetical. That's the fucking word. I had to make them more hypothetical if this happens. So I got some pretty good answers. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start this video with the very first question, which was, is it fair to ask a woman who is not bi-curious or bisexual for a threesome? Now, fair is a funny word, right? So quickly to give you the results, 41 people said yes and 52 people said no. So when it comes to like the fairness of something, I can completely understand that a closed mouth don't get fed. So if you're interested in something, you want to feel open enough with your partner to be able to ask. My issue, however, lies with men who pressure the issue after a woman has clearly told them that she is not interested in being sexual with another woman. Now that part, I don't think that that's fair. Like, and I've seen, you know, I have male friends who are like, oh, well, I want my girlfriend to, like, you know, I'm trying to get her into having a threesome, and I'm just like, well, is she into women, like, at all? Like, even a little? Well, no. Okay, so leave her alone. Like, to make it a requirement, like, if this doesn't happen, I don't know if we could be together, or, you know, shit like that. Bye, see ya, sayonara. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. But because it's more socially acceptable for women to be sexually fluid, people make it seem like a woman's like right to not be interested in having relations with another woman and her man, like that's just so fucking wrong. Like, no, it's still a sexual preference and it still needs to be respected. Just because you think that all women are in some way, shape, or form are bisexual does not mean that that's really how it is. So that's just one thing, okay? I want women's rights to their sexuality to be respected. Because, again, you as a man, I'm not gonna ask you, if I ask you some shit like that, you gonna get offended. Most of y'all men will get offended as fuck if I suggest you and another man doing something sexual with me. So I want the same fucking respect, especially if I'm not out here, you know, sharing that I like women or I'm interested in women. Okay, so the next question that I asked was to both men and women, and the question was, can a threesome be threatening to a relationship? I asked the question separately because I wanted to know the difference between what men felt about this and what women felt about this, because I knew that there are certain reservations that women have about threesomes that men are just like, oh no, because of course the shit benefits them. So, according to my answers, I had 53 women say that having a threesome can be a threat to the relationship. Only 4 women said no. And for the men, I had 31 men say yes, that it can, which I'm actually happy with those numbers. 31 men understand the implications of possibly bringing somebody else into the bedroom. And of course, we have 16 of them that said no. So we still have the majority. I'm happy. Y'all, I know some of y'all got some sense. I believe in y'all, okay? So let's talk a little bit about how a threesome can threaten the relationship or not. So all I'm gonna say is I think that it can be a risk. It's definitely a risk, because if you don't have a very solid foundation, this might not be your ministry. Like, if y'all still getting into arguments about petty shit, y'all may not not want to go ahead and bring somebody else into the picture because y'all can't even get it together when it's just the two of y'all. So to bring in another personality, another opinion, another person, when your shit ain't all good and dandy, you might leave room open for shit. And, you know, you may go into something thinking that you are more comfortable with it than you actually are. So one of my homegirls said one of her issues was when she had a threesome was that, like, at one point during the threesome, when him and the girl start fucking, it started to kind of nick at her. And she was like, I dried up, you know? And then me and him was tired and this bitch wanted to keep going. So I'm like, oh no, sis. And then she said the next morning when they woke up or whatever, that him and the girl was kind of like laid up together, like accidentally napping. Like, you know damn well if you see your man laid up with a bitch the morning after, that ain't you. Hello? So that's why you gotta definitely have certain like rules around the shit. Like, ain't no spending the night type shit, because then shit like that has room to happen. And then again, like I said, if your foundation in your relationship isn't already A1, if your communication skills are not A1, let's talk about communication, because a lot of y'all really lack in that area. Y'all don't even know how to tell your partner what's on your mind. So you definitely have to have open and honest communication in order to engage in threesomes. You have to know your partner's boundaries as well. What are the things that are going to make them upset about this situation? What is the best case scenario and what is the worst case scenario if we do this? And are we prepared to kind of, again, put a piece of our relationship at risk because this is something that we want to try? Like, best case scenario is, you know, y'all have a good time, everything is carefree, the other person respects the boundaries and rules that you set forth for the situation before it occurs. They go home, you and your man cuddle, you laugh, you kiki about how great the night was and how you've never felt closer. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is your man end up liking this bitch and he want to do it some more. Like, that's another thing. Like, sometimes y'all give a nigga an inch and he want to take a mile. So you may agree to this once for his birthday, for an anniversary, and then this nigga get excited and he want to keep doing it. See? Now you got a problem. Okay? So that's what I'm just saying. You just have to know your man and have a good talking to. If you really gonna do this, the communication skills have to be there. So that leads me right into my next question, which was, should a threesome be with a person that you know or a stranger? And so I had 34 people say that it should be with somebody that you know. And then I had 62 people say that it should be with a stranger. Now, what seems to be a nice happy medium is an acquaintance, like somebody you may know from around. Maybe somebody you even been friends with on Instagram for like 10 years, and so you know a lot of like they shit. But at least it's somebody you're kind of familiar with versus like going out to a club and just meeting a random. And I think that's just because you want it to be somebody who is extended enough from you to not really get attached to the situation, or to be taking things personally or harboring any feelings behind the actual act. So when you go with somebody who's a stranger, there's a nice bit of distance in between, like, you all emotionally, where you don't have to worry about shit getting messy or whatever. Versus when it's somebody you know, yes, the pros are that you're familiar with them, you're probably comfortable with them, you know, you might even know that you might be able to guarantee that they're clean. First of all, before you have a threesome, everybody needs to be showing papers. I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, you may have a better idea that they just not out here doing whatever, and so you may feel more comfortable inviting them into your home versus somebody you don't really know like that. And again, when you working with somebody you don't really know like that, it might be a little awkward. You know, it might take a little while for all of y'all to get in the rhythm of things. This is all me speaking from like my best guess, because I'll tell you, I ain't never had no threesome. It's going to take a hell of a man, and shit, a hell of a woman to even make that happen. I got too many rules. I'll talk about my rules later. But yeah, so, you know, the compatibility piece may be there with somebody you know, but again, when you using somebody that you may be close with, you leaving more room for like error. And we know some people, they got big ass mouths, so like if y'all are part of the same circles, you never know, that motherfucker gonna get to running their mouth. Now your business is all across the city. Okay, so that's just what you want to think about. It seems like picking is the hardest part. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because that seems to be like the biggest issue with all of this. So my next two questions were asked separately to the men and the women. And it was pretty much, who needs to do the picking? Should we let the woman pick? We letting her drive the boat? Okay. Or is it something that you all should do together? So when I asked the ladies this question, 27 women said that they want to be doing the picking. They doing the driving. And then 26 women said that they prefer to pick together. And then when I asked the men this question, they said, I had 24 men say that he wants her to do the picking. And I had 20 men say that they want to help. So I want to differentiate a few things here. I think it's a difference between picking and approaching and pitching. So I think that to pick together is probably like best case scenario. You know, you want both parties to be comfortable with who's coming into the bedroom. And when it comes to the approach and the pitch, I think women should do that piece. And I'm going to tell you, so the first time that I was propositioned for a threesome, I was at my homegirl Darla, Tuesday motherfucking D. I was at her Halloween party. Bitch was looking good as usual, you know. And I had peeped this little couple. I had peeped the guy first, because I mean he was a smidge of cute. You know, I'm just peeping, saying, hey, how you doing? And so I peeped. You know, he had a girlfriend. They was all together, canoodling and shit. That's the word my white ass coworkers use. Canoodling all around the party. And then at one point, the girl comes up to me and she's like, hey, how are you? You're so pretty. Me. Thank you, girl. Thank you. How are you? And so she like, can I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. She's like, do you like girls? And I'm like, no, sis. I don't like girls, sis. So she was like, oh, okay. So she went back over to her boyfriend or whatever. And fast forward maybe like a few minutes later, her and boyfriend are like having like a little argument, because I'm nosy, so I'm peeping. And if I had to guess, and this is based on other information that was given to me later on that night, they was plotting a threesome. And she did the recruitment. And I think I was told that he was upset that, like, that's how she did it. I don't know if he was trying to plan a better finesse, but he wasn't happy with like her just being like, fuck it, I'ma just go ask. So yeah, it seems to be like, I definitely think it was a better idea for her to come and pitch, just because again, as a woman, you want to respect if another woman is not into women or is not even open to being into women. So I think it always is better for her to kind of do the initiating, because it's going to be better received versus like a man coming up to you and like you thinking he into you when he trying to ask you to go home with him and his bitch. Then you might be kind of salty, especially my single ass. Like, again, if not in that exact situation, but if I'm out kicking it and a fine young man approaches me, I'm thinking he on that with me. Not to invite me with him and his bitch, because then I know I'm the one that got rules to follow. See, I'm a Leo. I like to be in control. So I couldn't be brought in, because then I got to abide by all of the shit that y'all setting forth, and I ain't finna do it. So the next question was, is a threesome still a threesome if the two women do not interact? So, meaning like, no kissing, no oral. Because I'm going to be, let me tell y'all the results before I get into my opinion. So 42 people said yes, 60 people said no. And I figure most people would say no, but let me tell you this. So my thing is, I'm picky. Like, would I be open to a threesome? Possibly. If I could have it my way. I'm not eating no pussy. I'm not. And I know a lot of straight women that feel that way. I'm not eating no cat. We all be like, she can eat my cat. I'm not eating no cat, okay? You know, kissing, depending on, you know, if she a bad bitch, because that's the only way I'm going. If she coming in swinging like me, you know, we got to be cute in here. But yeah, like, that's kissing is one thing. But like, eating cat, I'm not signing up for that. I got one homegirl, she dabbles. She said, man, it ain't that bad. I'm not doing it, okay? So that's the part of the fantasy that I know men like, and it just wouldn't be a thing with me. So I just need to know, like, you know, because some men will be like, just having the access of 2 women in the room is enough for them. Like, you giving me permission to fuck on you and go fuck on somebody else? I'm good. Like, I don't need all the extra shit. And then some men feel like, well, I don't even want to do it if you ain't gonna go all the way. Like, just be ungrateful as hell. Like, and while I'm right here, because, you know, I gotta dig at y'all. Some of y'all don't even have enough dick for one woman. And then be having the nerve to post threesome memes like you got enough dick for 2. Please cut it out. Like, please stop posting them threesome memes talking about this what I need. No. Because it be the niggas that really deserve threesomes. They got enough dick for threesomes. Who be chill. You never even know. You just never know. I be telling y'all talk too much. Y'all talk too much. But again, I think when you dealing with somebody who is not bisexual, you leave more room, or bi-curious, you leave more room for the threesome to not go your way. Because again, then it makes it hard for whoever you bringing in, because you got to tell them, like, bitch, I'm not eating your pussy. Point blank period. You know, you got to get them to abide by the rules. And if they somebody who's very sexually fluid and experienced, you know, they may be down. But it's hard to find somebody who is going to be okay with the parameters of you two, like the 2 of you all already have something established. And again, I'm speaking of threesomes between, like, people who are in relationships for the most part. Not like it's 3 singles together or me and him, we kind of mess around and then we doing something with somebody else. No, I'm talking about like a feeling, a bond, and an attachment, and a relationship existing already, and then you bringing somebody in. I just want to be clear about that. So, yeah, I understand the fantasy. The fantasy is to want to see both women together and doing all the nasty, doing the nasty. That's what y'all want to see. And y'all should just sometimes just be grateful. Like, again, if I'm even okay enough to let you freak on somebody else in front of me and her, whatever we got going on, shit had nothing to do with you. You just need to sit here and be happy. Sit there and eat your food. So my last question was for the ladies. And it was, would you have a threesome with 2 men? Because this is something I want to talk about. So I asked that, and then I asked the men, would they judge or look at a woman negatively for having a threesome with 2 men? So the women, on the women's question, I had 15 women say yes, they will have a threesome with 2 men. I had 49 women say no. Not really surprised. And then when I asked the men about them judging or thinking of them negatively, I had 22 men say yes, they judging, and 21 men said no, they're not. So let me start with the ladies. For all of y'all that said yes, I'm here for y'all. I mean, it may not be my thing, but I'm here for y'all. I'm here for the equality, okay? I want to point out something, because as soon as motherfuckers start doing a poll, of course I get 2 DMs, and one of them was from a woman. That's a train. I knew somebody was gonna come in my DMs with that goofy shit. You know what I think of when I think of the word train? I think of rape and non-consensual and like disgust. That's not the issue. Is how you all are perceiving and looking at the situation of a woman with 2 men. You all are thinking of it as for their pleasure, meaning the men. Y'all are thinking of this is to please the men, not instead of this is to please the woman. So that does not mean that, like, I feel like when y'all think train, y'all think of a woman with one dick in her from the back and then one dick in the front, and so, oh, God forbid, like, that's not always the case. Like, you can have a beautiful situation with a woman and two men where they are both catering to her. The two of them don't have to interact. That's my thing. When we talk about a threesome with two men and a woman, we, of course, we don't want them to interact. But when it comes to the women, y'all gotta interact. Like, that shit, that's bullshit. This is what I'm talking about. And I don't care. Y'all say, oh, women up here, y'all pure. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because I want women to realize, when you sit there and judge a woman for some shit like that, oh, that's a train. Like, oh, she's a hoe. Like, that is what we call internalized misogyny. I expect that from the men. Y'all gotta cut that shit out. Let that woman get her shit. Let her get it. Again, because to me, when I envision it like her ass is up on a pedestal and both of these niggas is like doing whatever she asking to please her. Okay? Again, not my thing, but I definitely like have a vision for it. I can see it. Two fine asses. Y'all mean to tell me? Look, because I done seen some fine ass celebrities in pictures together, and I'm like, choo, like, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Y'all know I don't care. So I want y'all to realize, it's internalized misogyny. Don't be. And I just feel like the word train is like the word hoe. Like, it was created by a man to shame a woman for the same shit that he fantasizes about with two women. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that train shit, okay? And I just think, kudos to the men who aren't judging, because we all grown at the end of the day. And y'all be forgetting that people have different needs and can be as kinky and as nasty as they want in the comfort of their own home. It is their business. So why y'all so judgy about somebody else's sex life is beyond me. Like, y'all, especially the men, like, y'all will try to come to us all slutted the fuck out. And a woman she might have had a rendezvous with two men, and you want to judge her. And you done probably did every little nasty thing under the sun. Please cut it the fuck out, okay? Y'all, so shout out to y'all who are grown. Because some of y'all grown, but y'all ain't grown, okay? Y'all want to sit there and turn your nose up and shit because you ain't into it. Like, it may not be my thing, but more power to y'all, okay? So, I hope I gave y'all some things to think about when it comes to a threesome. I feel like you can't just be doing that shit with anybody. And that is the issue. Even like when it comes to the man you're deciding to do it with. Like, you want to do it with your husband. You want to, like, oh, that's something else I wanted to talk about. Like, do we feel like we should do threesomes before we are married? Like, because I had one homegirl say that she would never want to share, like she has to have if she does the threesome, it has to be while, like, she's single. Like, she couldn't do it in a relationship because she can't share the man that she loves. Which is valid. Like, that's the biggest piece for me is I'm already kind of territorial. Like, I don't play about mine. So, I don't, like, that image of him fucking her, that would, like, sit in my mind. So, I might be the same way. Like, it might have to be on some, like, random shit. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's why I don't play these threesome games, because it's a lot that goes into it. So I hope y'all really think about that. YOLO, you only live once. We still young. Like, do what you need to do. Also, be safe and think about how it can go wrong. Okay? Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday. Okay?